I was just into the music. Welcome everybody to There's a Will. The person I'm looking at when I go like this is Craig Smith, old friend, and the creator and grand vizier of Europa Property, and a man who has a lot of publications, not only about real estate and commercial real estate, and property development, but also you've got a new magazine called Serbian Monthly.
Serbian Monthly, which we're covering also real estate, but general business news, a little bit of politics, a little bit of action, some lifestyle things. But, you know, a lot of companies are going there and they need to know, can they make money there? Can they do business there? So it's general business magazine for guys working there, but also new companies coming in.
Fantastic, yeah. I like Serbia. I was there. But let's introduce our other guest.
Let's do.
Right? He's coming to us all the way from, remember?
Finland.
He's in Stockholm.
Oh,
but he is Finnish.
He is a hotel, though. He is at a hotel.
He's in a hotel in Stockholm, that beautiful city in Sweden.
But he's Finnish. Yes.
But he is Finnish. We can't confuse him. He is not Scandinavian, but he is Nordic.
He is Nordic.
Or he is Fendo-Scandinavian. What is it? How do you say it, Anders?
Fendo-Scandinavian.
Fendo-Scandinavian. You see, they put themselves first in that.
Of course the Finns
equation.
do. The Finns would, wouldn't
why
they?
shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, they are first.
I tell you, my aunt went there and stayed in an igloo.
I always put the Finns first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever stayed in an igloo?
No, I haven't.
No.
No.
Yeah.
There's not many of them in L.A.
No. You don't have it?
None in L.A. and none in Warsaw.
In the summer, it would be nice, though.
It would be nice to stay in an igloo in the summer in L.A., yeah?
You could start Igloo Park.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would write a song about it. Anders is a very interesting fellow. Now, he's a friend of a fellow I know called Andreas Wilkman.
Okay.
I call him the Wolfman.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because of Wilk.
Yeah,
that's
gotcha. it. Now you're catching on.
Yeah.
And he's also...
Nothing gets by you, does it?
No. He's also, nor you. That's why you're a big publisher and editor.
That's why.
And I'm just, cream cheese. Not even the full-fat cheese.
But nice cream cheese.
No, I'll appreciate that. I won't disagree. And Anders has been has been working with Andreas, who's a fascinating guy. I would tell you a little bit about how I met him on projects in Ukraine since, right the first week. Was the second day you went in, Anders, right? Which I think it's amazing. So if we had hats on, we would take them off now and say thank you very much for being, one, very brave, and two, being very useful to people in Ukraine. I mean, we can talk a lot about politics. We can talk a lot about possible widening of the war. We can talk a lot about many things geopolitically, and we have done on this show. But you can't get away from the human connection and the great work that many individuals have done, even starting their own aid organizations like Michael Houlihan, who's been a guest here, Aspenade.
Yeah, he was just in town last week.
We had lunch with him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he has spoken to Andreas Wilkman, but not Anders, because this is our first time getting to know Anders.
Okay.
And so, Anders, I also went over in the first week, but it was really to have a look at what was going on in Lviv. That was it, and to see the actual, I suppose, scope of the exodus of the people, the refugees, who were just everywhere at that point, heading west, trying to reach the Polish border, Romanian border, and we all have our stories, of course. And that was the experience I will rate with the most moving and also frightening experiences of my life, because it was overwhelming, the sea of humanity seeking some kind of exgress from the country. And but you were over there in the beginning. Craig's been over there too. You've been to Kiev, and once or twice.
I was there once for 2 weeks. Yeah,
for 2. So that's a long time. So can you tell us about your journey, Anders, how you got the inspiration to go there with Andreas, and take us through your first visit or two. The impression.
Sure.
Please.
First of all, thanks for having me on the show. I love the production. I think you're talking about really important topics, and nice to meet you, Craig, too. And the first, when the war started, I think, like most of us, you thought that, is this really happening? Like, is this real? You're reading the newspapers. And then I think you had the same experience. When you go there, the first thing you realize that this is actually happening. And people are fleeing. You see the exodus, you see the crying people, and you don't really know how to feel yourself either. And then you start to sort of stabilize and think, okay, we need to start acting. We need to start finding out, is there something we can do? You meet some of the soldiers who are in the front lines. The way I got involved was Andreas, my friend who you mentioned earlier. He basically called me the day after the war started, and he said, Anders, I need you to help me fundraise. And it was a lot of money that he needed. And
how much money are we talking about?
We're talking about 70,000 euros.
Okay.
70,000 euros, close to 100,000 euros. And I said, definitely, I'll see what I can do. How many days do we have? And then Andreas replies, actually, I'm already I'm queuing to the cashier. I'm in an army shop. Like, we have 10 minutes, we have 5 minutes. And then I thought, this is going to be an interesting day. Let's go all in. So we, I took my sleeves and I wrapped them up, and I somehow was able to help Andreas. There was a flight in 1 hour. We caught that flight. We had 33 large cardboard boxes with us, and we just made the flight. And then I asked Andreas on the flight, hey, how are we going to drive this into Ukraine? Like, what kind of car do we have? And he said, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And that sort of set the pace for the way Andreas and I have been working for almost a year now, that we talk a little less, we always act, lead by example, and just have faith that things will organize themselves when they have to. And everything has been working well so far. We've made, as I always say, we've made a lot of mistakes, but rarely twice the same mistake.
Continue with that the fascinating stuff. I mean, a lot of people are doing the sort of thing. There's an amazing amount of people doing just this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have compared it to a sort of Dunkirk, operation, but in reverse, taking things to the actual battlefield. Mm-hmm. And all these little boats. I think of all of these different
cars, trucks.
Yeah. They're just little boats going with wheels, going there, and everybody's. I mean, it's overwhelming when you think about it. Anders, can you take us a little bit more through the specifics? So how did you, in fact, get those boxes into a truck? Because I think it's instructive to people. It's not easy, is it? And you've got to go through a wartime border, right?
I think many of us have forgotten what physical work is like when you're absolutely exhausted and stuff just has to get done. And we had to remind ourselves really quickly that what it means to like literally tape boxes, use thick markers, ask for help immediately when you need help. Don't be shy, and just stay up, coffee, skip the deodorant, just go, get stuff done. And
I like to skip the deodorant anyway.
I was going to say, it sounds like today.
Yeah.
Coming to the show, yeah.
I don't like to use it. Yeah. I think we should be real. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and so you get, how did you get your truck the first time?
So we land at the airport. We have these 33 boxes coming on the conveyor
In Warsaw
belt.
or Krakow or where?
In Warsaw, yeah.
In Warsaw, okay.
We rented a van.
Yeah,
We rented a van. And actually, one of my most inspiring moments came the next day. We met some of our fantastic contacts in Warsaw. And we're in this sort of bunker-like building. They didn't give us an address, they gave us coordinates. And we meet them there in the middle of the night. It's raining a little bit. and I'm thrilled. I haven't slept, but I feel like for the first time in years, I'm really doing something that matters. And we meet our contacts there. They tell us what they know about what's going on in Ukraine. We tell them how we think we can help them in the coming weeks and months. Then they take us down to the cellar, and we're walking this spiral stairs down to the cellar where they have maps and lights and some radios and whatnot. And when we're halfway the stairs, my contact person stops. He's below me. He's walking before me down the stairs, and he turns up to me and says, "Anders, welcome to the resistance."
Isn't that wonderful?
I thought that was just amazing, and it really meant so much. Then we kept on going again for hours and hours, and it's as you know, it's really hard to stay structured and focused as you get more and more exhausted and tired. It's easy to do things, but to think and take decisions when you're tired is really difficult. But all in all, that first trip was just a Kickstarter to what's been going on since.
Yeah, that's how I got this show. Is I got the owners of the station really tired, and they made
forced them to agree.
Forced them to agree. I said, just sign this. No, I'm gonna pay you some money. They signed it, and I got the show. It's like, see, I know what you're talking about. Now, so when you drove, because there's a problem with crossing the border. I found this in helping people to cross the border, driving myself there, that it was you can't cross unless you have permission to cross, like with a rental vehicle, right? Sometime at the beginning they were letting people through, and then the vehicles were getting stolen. So the rental car companies got pretty annoyed. Several of them that were being used. For example, I don't know if you know WWII, but this is an Australian group. Do you know them?
No, I don't think so.
It's a friend of mine, Rusty.
Okay.
Russell has created that. The same type of thing. He started, actually, he's a guy I went over first. We went over to Lviv to bring somebody out, a woman and a baby that was a relative of his. And the baby needed some attention, so it wasn't a matter of waiting in the chaos of the train station trying to get out, or on the border. So we did that. But subsequently, he began to take things over in rental cars, and other people did too. But then the rental car company said no. So eventually, he got a van donated and stuff like that. But how did you get across? Did you take the rental van across, or what? And how long did you sit?
Trip,
yeah.
In that first trip, we had people who came over the border and picked up the things. So the way Andreas and I work is we keep reminding ourselves that the most important thing is to get the right stuff to the right military or civilian units. It's not important that do we get to go and deliver it, which is obviously a fantastic ego boost and exciting and adventure, and you get the photos. The most important thing is to get the stuff there. If they come and get it, and we can confirm that the right people are picking it up, for example, in Poland, and that's the most efficient way, then that's the way we're going to go. But every now and then we deliver it ourselves, because that's the best way to go. The first time it took days. We were 1 or 2 days at the border. We didn't know what we were doing when it comes to crossing the border. And then we started learning. Now we do it in 1 or 2 hours. For example, we have a paper from a specific platoon commander saying, we asked Andreas and Anders to bring us 50 bulletproof vests. And here's my phone number. And then we have phone numbers to a few higher up commanders in case anything needs to be checked immediately at the border.
And you show this to the border guards, Anders. You show this to the border guards.
Yes.
So the border guards are calling the front line to make sure these guys are, to check it, yeah?
Do they check?
Yes.
Or
yeah,
they do check, the border guards? Or do they just say, okay, you look legit, you're finished, come on through?
First we got quite annoyed. Obviously, you're trying to help, and then you think that there's these bloody bureaucrats and whatnot. Then you realize that it's a war going on, and everyone's really just doing their job.
Yeah, of course, and
then
there are a lot of not so nice, rather unsavory characters who want to come through that border, including human traffickers. I had a long talk at this World for Ukraine conference where I met Andreas and got to know him over 3 days. And Andreas is a very impressive person, so I'm sure that you are as well. And from what we're hearing, that seems true. I'm sure it's true. But at that conference, there were a number of different NGOs and everything you could imagine that has to do with from food to military, first aid and minor military equipment, like you're talking about, non-lethal stuff. There were no arms dealers there or anything like that, but it's not their venue. Except Craig. Craig showed up with his bazooka, which was
right.
surprising. But
usually I don't lend that out, but
he's
in
a
this
big
case,
hit. He was a big hit. I got to tell you, people liked him, and so. I did talk to a guy about human trafficking because we had seen that on the border. So they're right to check. They're right to be careful because they're, and contraband can be, is a good way to move drugs across and things like that, I suppose, if you wanted to do that. But at any rate, not to get off the subject. So your first place of departure was which border? Post, and where did you go? Lviv or elsewhere?
To be honest, Will, I don't remember which. We've used a few border crossing points.
There's the word
now.
Okay. There's the one with the P, Przemysl. Does that ring a bell? That's it, isn't it?
That's the one.
Yeah. I was there a lot. This is one where you can walk across, as well as drive across. So it's quite handy. It's, I think, the only one where you can walk across. So it's quite handy. I've used it many times myself to go to Lvov and, other places in the past. So you got your stuff sent. Have you been to as far as Kiev, the front, or?
Kiev, yeah. Kiev, and Andreas has been further to Odessa and so on as well.
Yes, he was telling me about Odessa, I remember. But not the front line. Because now my friend Rusty, along with other people that I know, some doing different things that we won't talk about now, Rusty's been to Kharkiv and some of those other more dangerous places multiple times. Just on his own, like you and Andreas. Now, the thing that Andreas and I talked about was generators. I'm sorry, before you answer that, Craig, he's only here for the first section. So you and I are going to
no problem.
Chat in the second section. I'm not ignoring you.
No,
people
I don't
say,
feel
why does he talk to Craig?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Why don't people?
Yeah. Why is Craig being ignored?
Yeah. What's Will's problem?
Oh, God.
Well, don't get me started. Okay. So, Andreas, could you answer that question about generators now? What? Did we lose? No,
sorry,
there he is.
I had a bad connection here. Yeah. Could I ask you, Will, to repeat the question?
All right. I was talking to Andreas Wilkman. I mean, we had supper together. We met right at the beginning of the thing on the first day. We had supper together that night with the organizer. I mean, it was serendipitous. I didn't. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get straight to the question then, because so I can keep you. We met the mayor of Rivne, which is a town before Lviv. It's where one of the international brigades were training, and where that big explosion that killed a bunch of people was early in the war, first month, and. We were talking about generators with the mayor of Rivne, and he drew a picture for me, which I then started sending to people saying, they need generators. This was back in December. And Andreas and I started talking. He says, I did generators. Is that right? Did you help him with that?
Yeah. We've taken about 100 generators into the country by now.
Yeah, which is invaluable, because a generator means, sustaining life in the wintertime, right? So it's...
And yeah.
Go ahead. You talk.
And it's yeah. I was just going to say that it's fascinating when, you know, when a military unit or a hospital or something, they ask you for something, and then you get into the conversation of, hey, let me see what I can do, but tell me, why do you need this? And then you have a military unit that tells you, hey, we have night vision, but we can't charge it. We can't charge it. We have thermal scopes, but they're out of battery. We have drones, but we can't charge them. We have Starlinks, but we need electricity. And then you realize that, wait a minute, I can provide you with the missing piece of the puzzle. And it's really, it's fantastic when you can help like that. And very often it's actually generators that then power all that amazing stuff they already happen to have there.
Okay, what size generators are we talking about? If you could, just so people know, and how much they cost, the ones that are efficient and useful?
They are quite small, which is a good thing. So they're small and quiet. They're called like suitcase generators. So they're like 2 kilowatts is the power in them. And they have USB directly. We usually, so what we do is we prepare them in Finland. They're actually really difficult to source. You know, people ask, you know, why don't you buy them in Poland or the Baltics? That's a good point. They are really difficult to find, actually, already in the past few months. You can't find them anywhere. People are driving from Ukraine to Finland to buy them and then drive back to Ukraine. So we source them in Finland. We put in the oil in them so they are ready to go. We put in the extension cords in the cardboard box. So you start the generator, you plug in the extension cords, you can charge 20 telephones immediately. You have the USBs there, the inverters, and then we drive them in, and then we always ask for a list of, hey, who are the end users? And then you find out, all right, this unit is getting 3 and this hospital is getting 2 and whatnot. And then you get videos and photos, and then you can reach out to your donors and say, hey, thanks again for joining us. Here's a few greetings from the front lines or from a hospital and so on.
Very good. Anders, we're running down to the end of this segment, and then we're going to love you and leave you, or you're going to love us and leave us, I hope. And is there a sort of anything you want to say that you haven't said so far that might make an impression on our viewers that would be important for them to know?
I think it's important for everyone who follows the war, which I believe is everyone, to know that the Ukrainians are in the fight of their lives. They are all in. As you will and Craig, when you talk to anyone in Ukraine about what they're doing, very quickly they tell you how they are helping the war. Everyone is working somehow to win the war, to protect their families, their nation, their people, their culture. And I think it's important for everyone who's thinking about helping to know that any help which is sent there will be received with respect and gratitude and be taken very well care of. So the Ukrainians are all in, and they believe that they will win. And I think that's super important, and I believe that they will win with our help.
Excellent. With our help. This is the most important thing. With help of anyone who's concerned to stop the destruction and the loss of life. Okay. Thank you very much, Anders. Brotherus, what an appropriate last name, considering what you've been telling us. You're a good man. We appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you very much for being on the show. And I will thank Andreas for putting you on to us, or me on to you. And I hope you'll come back. Will you come back in the future?
I definitely will. Thank you for having me, Will.
That's great. Okay, God bless, be well, and talk to you soon. Yeah. Okay, that's all we have for the first segment. Watch these very important messages that keep us on the air, and we'll see you after the break. All roads lead to Poland, to this studio, in fact, where we have Craig Smith, welcome back, everybody. Craig Smith from Europa Property, the guru of property development happenings. You also do the awards for property.
Sure, we just did that this week while you were in the west of Poland. We were doing the awards at the Intercontinental in Warsaw. So.
I know, I missed it. I would love to have been there, at least to have a glass of wine and tasty food and say hi to some friends, because I know a lot of the people here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of the people that you know there.
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a good time to meet people. It's almost like a great mixer, isn't it?
It is a great mixer. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just awards. It's like one of the
massive,
the AmCham mixer.
Yeah. Well, they wish they had something that nice, but yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they did. Yeah, I bet they did. But I went to the AmCham mixer speaking on Tuesday because we were out on Wednesday. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a second. And we went out I went out to the AmCham mixer, and they had they called it the Carnival mixer because
Carnival. Oh, right.
Yeah, because
it's the last day of Carnival or first day.
First day.
Yeah.
And I don't follow these things. I don't like to have that much of a good time. I'm a guy who likes to stay at home and
keep working.
Yeah. And work hard.
Carnival mixer. How was it?
Making money.
Nothing wrong with making money. How was the Carnival mixer?
I like that. Say it again. Money.
Money.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah.
Gosh. I love it. Anyway, and there were some very tall women with large headdresses.
Oh, okay.
And not much clothing, which was a very cheerful sight.
That sounds very nice.
I believe they were Brazilian.
That's the carnival part, I guess.
Yeah. I think they were Brazilian.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, they got to do something to get people out there, yeah?
I didn't speak to him because I fainted when they came on the stage, and then they had to revive me, and then I missed the show.
Too late. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. But they looked nice. I remember before I went unconscious that they were they overwhelmed me.
Well, I'm not sure you'll be able to handle one of our events then. We had Miss Vice World Polonia there, and boy, you would definitely faint if you saw her. Take a look at the pictures on Facebook, LinkedIn.
I think I saw one of those.
Yeah,
she was saying, "I thank Craig Smith."
She didn't say my name about anything, but
I thought she did.
She's our brand ambassador, and it's Natalia Tomczyk. Amazing.
Natalia Tomczyk, yeah, I saw
very
something.
amazing.
She didn't, because I don't have her on Facebook.
Well, you need her on Facebook.
Yeah, I've got to be friends with her. I don't know.
I would highly recommend. She's very friendly.
Maybe I can be a bug in the rug for her.
Well, whatever. Maybe you could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Or a flea on the wall.
A flea on the wall. A bug in the rug or a flea on the wall.
Yeah,
maybe
like
there's some
kind of insect.
Maybe there's some opportunities there.
Maybe a Kafka story.
Could be.
Where this beautiful woman tortures me. Oh, wait a second. Anybody who knows my life would know. It wouldn't be the first time.
I think there's plenty of women to torture you.
Yeah, and they have.
You don't even need beautiful ones.
And
for
they
that.
have.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
one of my favorite things.
Well, come to the next event. You'll meet Natalia because she's our brand ambassador, and
When's the next event? I'm going to note that right now.
It is in Sopot, first of all, not in Warsaw. It's in Sopot at the Sheraton, which is probably a lot of your guests haven't been there yet because brand new hotel in Sopot. Amazing, amazing place for events, and we are doing it there May 25th. So I'd say stay the weekend. So that's Thursday, but stay the weekend. And, we promise good weather, sunny, warm.
We'll come and film for my travel show then.
There you go.
That'll be the perfect occasion. I shall wait.
Yeah.
The weather will be just about right then.
Yeah. First, it will be. We are guaranteeing perfect weather in Sopot. Hot, warm, sunny.
It'll be good. It'll be lots of interviews. Be fun.
And also, Milzinski has a new restaurant up there, and he's doing a huge wine tasting on the 27th, which I think is the Saturday.
Yeah, Robert Milzinski, who's a relative of our line producer for the show.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, they're like, oh, yeah, Robert, we know him. He's a...
Mr. Moyes.
He's a cousin or something. Yeah, good.
Call him Mr. Moyes. And he's got a replacement day. He's sick. But in case people want to know. But
so that'd be a good place. That'd be a good place to also film. Is at the wine tasting. He's got a big thing going on up there on the Saturday. It's on the our event's on the Thursday. His is on the Saturday. So I'm just telling people, look, book the hotel, stay the weekend. A little bit of beach time, a little bit of wine tasting time.
Yeah.
And anyone that's with us also has a ticket to the wine tasting or ticket invitation to the wine tasting.
Well, put me down.
I'll put you down.
Have you got a list?
We do have a list.
Are you checking it twice?
It's filling up fast, so get in quick.
Are you checking it twice?
No, I'm not. But we've got people checking it.
You got people checking it, like elves?
Nice young ladies.
In your case, perhaps dwarfs.
Yeah, dwarfs. Yeah, we have the dwarfs. Yeah, the dwarfs.
You have one or two. Yeah.
We keep the dwarfs on hand for things like checking lists.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, now I'm glad you asked.
Well, I'm interested.
It's very nice of you to ask after all these years.
Yeah, after all these.
Finally, you asked me how I am.
Yeah.
Gosh, how long we know each other? 25 years?
At least, yeah. But I know you were okay before. Now I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I'm okay.
That's why I'm checking. Yeah. Okay.
What?
Good.
Did you hear something?
Nope. Didn't hear anything.
What? No?
No.
You sure?
Only good stuff.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm just checking. Checking the list
that
twice.
surprises me.
Yeah. No, only good stuff from everyone that knows you.
Oh, that's sweet. Gosh, I must be doing something wrong. I was traveling this. Here's the thing. When I do my travel show, Poland Daily Travel, like and subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook. Poland Daily Travel. It's really cool.
So where did you? Yeah, that was great. Where did you go? Where did you go this week? Or last week? This week. Yeah, this week. Yeah.
The first thing we do is we look to see where the weather's going to be good, and right, and then we have to find a place we haven't been to.
Okay.
Now the places mostly we haven't been to is really the whole far west and a lot of the coast to the west of Gdansk.
Okay.
Most of the coast.
Oh, you haven't been there yet?
Never.
No. Okay. Well,
so we have a lot to do.
Sopot will be a great spot to start. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been wanting to go to Sopot, but I've been waiting for good weather. It's taken 4 years.
Good weather and brilliant event.
It's taken 4 years.
I guarantee you great weather.
Yeah.
Bring the film crew.
Well, I believe you.
Yeah.
No, we're going to come. We're going to come. I'm going to actually prepare for that. Now, and it'd be fun, the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
The Molo and everything will be great. It's a beautiful hotel. And there'll be lots of people to talk to.
Yeah, it's right before school gets out. Yeah. Good weather, not too many kids.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
It'd be super. Yeah. So a good adult time for all.
It'll be like adult Disneyland.
Adult Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do it there. Adult Disney. Now, I got to write that down so I don't forget.
Right, exactly. Just watch the show if you forget.
I got to watch my own show?
Yeah, exactly.
Too painful.
Yeah.
Too painful, sorry. Now, so I went out there. We found the weather was going to be good on a Wednesday and a Thursday, and maybe halfway good on Friday.
Okay.
The big thing is that we give us 2 days in the sun. So we went lickety-split off on the motorway west. It was not very good weather, but when we got to, I'm not going to be like Proust and describe, what the car was like.
Yeah.
Every stop where we got gas and how the gasoline smelled. We're not. That's
just
not
straight to the action.
No, straight to the action.
Good.
Yeah, and we stopped at Kalisz.
Oh, okay.
When I'm talking about action, I don't mean Kalisz.
Right. But Kalisz is a pretty old. I think it's one of the oldest towns in Poland or something, right?
So everybody from Kalisz will tell you.
Right.
And it's true. It's one of the oldest towns. But that starts, really old Poland starts there. It was on the Roman way to the Amber route.
Right.
Passed through from the west, from like Dresden area, and then through exactly where we were headed. It was also Napoleon's route in and out, because it's very favorable crossings, small crossings of the river there.
There's a nice McDonald's drive-through there as well.
There's a very good drive-through in Żary.
Right, in Żary, that is a good one.
Yeah, everybody remarks upon it. I mean, I feel jejune bringing it up and something.
Well,
on television.
Those hidden treasures.
Yeah. Anyway, so we stopped off in Kalisz, and I said, well, we'll just go and do, because when we're doing a road trip, I like to stop and I will, shows, one program. The programs are 6, 7, up to 10 minutes, depending on, when they can shut me up. When the cameraman pokes me in the eye.
Then you know it's over.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to take my glasses off so we can do that. And so we stopped off in Kalisz just to say we're on our way to the, so we go to the town square.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We get a panorama of the town.
Yeah, very nice place.
The Rennick,
The Rennick.
All under construction.
Oh, God.
Gray weather, all under construction. I went, oh, no, we're not going to be able to show them anything. So we did a little bit. We did a couple of the nice roads leading in, and I told a little bit the history of Kalisz, so it was okay. The story of Kalisz, why, and where we were coming from, where we're going to, what to expect in the next episode, that sort of thing. And so it was all right.
Well, that sounds okay.
But yeah, it was all right. But
if they want to see it, they need to go there.
They need to go there.
Yeah.
But then there was a museum I read about, which is the #1 attraction. What do you reckon the #1 attraction on TripAdvisor in Kalisz is?
Well, I guess a museum, because that's what you started to tell me.
Yeah, but what kind of museum?
Whew, must be some art history or historical museum. Maybe not art history, but a historical...
It is a combination of both.
Oh, yeah.
But it is the most original museum I think I've ever seen. It's as if it were... It's an absurdist museum, as if it were designed by Gombrowicz, you know, the writer, Polish writer, or Witkiewicz, the other, the two great... Poles are master of the absurd, along with the French in the 20th century, right?
Well, you probably love that museum.
I loved it.
I was going to say, that was perfect for you. Yeah.
And the guy didn't speak any English.
Well, that, I'm sure. Yeah.
And he had a beard, and he looked like a, forest creature.
Right.
A woodsman or a forest creature or something. Take your pick.
Again, that's what you'd expect, yeah?
No, he was great. And it is the most amazing museum. It is a collection of paraphernalia, that's the only way to describe it, of past decades. Going back, it's mostly modern kitsch turned into a massively impressive and almost overwhelmingly exhibition, overwhelmingly eclectic, mixed up exhibition.
So like modern stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Everything. Yeah. There's one room about, and everything's related to the history of Kalisz. So you got, the wartime.
Right.
So you've got everything related to the wartime, from German helmets to baby dolls to photographs of families to...
So what single thing did you like out of it? What were you like, wow, that's worth driving out?
All
of it. Yeah, everything's something cool.
It's overwhelming. You just walk in. First of all, you start laughing when you go in, because outside is a statue of Shirley Temple, who's the patron saint.
Wow.
And when you go in, you hear Shirley Temple music playing. So the guy has an incredible sense of humor.
Yeah.
And downstairs he has a whole section of, it's like a big poster, but with postcards or photographs of the posters of Shirley Temple movies. For example, that's just a
that
small...
I wouldn't expect in Kalisz. I don't know why. I always think of her as more American and just American sort of, stuff. Yeah, cool. All right,
it's amazing. So she's the patron saint. So it's about fun. It's about childlike enthusiasm. Childlike, not childish. Childlike enthusiasm, and just the objects. This is what Proust would like, because every object is important.
Well, this is perfect for tourists to come see.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
It is one of those most unique places that I've seen in Poland, or anywhere, actually.
Right. Well, that's cool to pop by, especially if it's gray, cold, rainy.
Yeah. And
that's usually when I go to museums,
Yeah, we could go inside. And we didn't have to call ahead. He was very gracious. Let us come in. Didn't have to call ahead.
So it's a private museum.
Yeah. It's a private museum.
Okay.
And it's underground, most of it.
Yeah.
So you have the upstairs part where you walk in and all kinds of stuff around. You go, well, what's this about? Then there's a guide, and in English or German or Polish, and you use this guide. You go downstairs and you descend into this warren and this maze.
But normally you should make an appointment, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should call him ahead.
So it's not just open 9 to 5.
Well, it's kind of open, but then when we were there, it's supposed to be up until 4 o'clock, or 3 o'clock.
Right.
But when we were there, the guy goes. His name's Andre.
Andre, the owner of the museum.
Bernan.
Yeah. Okay.
Bernan.
Bernan.
He's like a Santa Claus type guy. He's not a big fat guy,
Yeah.
but he's just a sort of twinkle in his eye. He's going to go. He's looking, going, "You're going to like this." He knows what he has.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it was really great, and we did a few programs there, and I would recommend anyone going to Kalisz. It's worth the stop.
Right.
Just for that.
Right. Okay.
This museum. It's really incredible. So
I'll stop there and I'll say I know you from the show.
Yeah, we're going to send them.
Good.
The shows will be up in the next 10 days, so we'll show. I'm going to send them to him.
Cool. He'll probably have a line of people out after this.
I hope so. I think it's pretty popular. It's listed as the #1 on TripAdvisor.
#1. Wow.
Attraction.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think it must be the #1 attraction in Central Poland for this kind of thing.
Talk to me into
amazing.
it. I'm going.
Anyway, then we went on. I'll tell you the next. We went on. We stayed in a Renaissance castle, which has been redone for 1558.
Wow. Okay.
It was redone. So this is exactly the same time that Ivan the Terrible started the evil Russian Empire.
Yeah, I saw him on that show, Vikings. Yeah, Ivan the
Yeah,
Terrible. He's
Ah,
a mean
he's a
guy.
mean
He's a
guy.
mean guy. Jeez.
Good Lord.
I thought the other guys were mean, but then he comes in. He's
No, this
another
guy-
level of mean. Yeah.
Great Scott.
Yeah,
Where does
yeah.
the guy get all that meanness? Yeah.
But he was upset. He's angry. He had anger issues, I must say.
He was angry.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
He's definitely. So we go. We stayed in this castle, which was listed just on Booking and hotels.com or something. I found it that way.
Right.
And we pull up. It's in the countryside near Głogów. Another fascinating place because Głogów completely destroyed, turned into a fortress like Wrocław in World War II. Completely destroyed.
Yeah.
The central part. Totally destroyed. All rebuilt and beautifully. There's a lot of money in Głogów. I was looking at this. I'm going, this looks like what they've done in Gdansk. Where did they get the money? You know where? Copper mine.
Yeah. Oh, they got a copper mine
The
somewhere
biggest
around. Yeah.
copper mine on the outskirts. The biggest factory I've ever seen in Poland by far. It is like 4, 5 smokestacks. It's about half a mile long.
Wow, big one.
Right along the river, the Oder River, and which flows through the town of Głogów. And just fascinating, you know. I mean, taxes and
Yeah.
employment of the people. And they rebuilt this whole town very stylishly, as if it looks like Germans or how the Germans rebuilt, or the Dutch after World War II. So it's not the exact ancient style, or medieval or Renaissance style, but it's
nice.
a takeoff on that.
I'd like to go there. I haven't been there yet. So
Yeah,
interesting
Głogów's
place.
nice.
Yeah,
And
okay.
a couple of nice churches,
Yeah.
a nice castle that's been rebuilt, and this place to stay. But this area is palace rich for places to stay. Don't stay in a regular hotel unless you're working and you have to. You don't have time.
Right.
But there are a number of palaces and castles in the area.
Places to stay. Yeah.
The one I stayed at was Czerna
Czerna.
Castle.
Okay,
C, Z or Z, E-R-N-A.
Oh, yeah. Don't spell it for
Yeah,
me.
we have
okay.
the same
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
We have the same problem with the British and the
Yeah,
Americans.
it's like, I can't spell any of that.
We're working
yeah,
with.
Yeah. But good. Okay.
Anyway, so that was great.
So you were there 2 days, or out that the trip was
2
2
nights.
days. 2 nights.
2
yeah.
nights.
Okay. Good.
1,100 kilometers.
Oh, nice trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and but the main thing we went to. Have you ever seen the film The Great Escape?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Of
what do you
course.
remember mostly from the film?
You know, I think Steve McQueen doing some crazy stuff always. Yeah, nice show. But you know, I need to watch
In the
that
cooler.
again. Yeah, the cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he takes his baseball glove and the baseball.
Yeah, that's a classic. So that's there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's near Głogów, not far to the west.
Okay.
Not far from the border with Germany.
They have a picture of Steve McQueen there or something,
Yeah,
or
they do.
something saying, "Hey, here's where
They
it was
did.
filmed." Yeah.
No, they
Good,
did. No,
good,
they
yeah.
have a nice museum, and
Yeah,
we went to it. And gosh, we had 2 really nice trips to the museum because there was no director. The director was there saying, "I wish somebody would come," because it's off season.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a good time
No
for
one-
us to
yeah,
film
yeah,
inside.
yeah, 'cause-
It's also a good time there are no tourists.
Yeah, because in summer it's packed probably, and they're
Packed.
like, they don't need another film.
And the
crew
roads
there.
are packed.
Yeah,
Because
right.
there's no big roads around there. It takes you a long time to get around. Anyway, it's not far from Bad Moscow. Not Moscow.
Not bad.
Moscow.
Moscow. Yeah.
Is a German spa town on the river Nesse,
Oh, okay.
or Niese.
Did you do a little spa day there as well with the team?
You
or,
could. It looks beautiful.
yeah,
Well, I
okay.
didn't do it, but I would go back and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want to do the whole border area with Germany, because you know it's not so much a fluid border in terms of the historical lines of demarcation, but it's very fluid in terms of business travel over the centuries. You know, 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Because you had the Amber Route during Roman times that
Yeah.
crossed and went back.
Well, the political border changes. Yeah, it
Local borders
changed. Yeah,
change,
but
yeah.
the real.
That's a good name for it.
Yeah. But the real borders.
Well, it's a mixture of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
going back and forth, and
Yeah.
they're using those rivers to navigate. And when they're navigating on the rivers, if you're Polish or Bohemian or German, or Prussian, nobody says, or Saxon or whatever it is, nobody says, you need permission.
Well, you go where the river goes, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, you're on our side of the river.
Yeah.
They didn't say that back then.
No.
They
They
just-
didn't care. They're just like, you're on the river, you finish.
Do you have some food that we
yeah.
can eat?
Yeah, really. Yeah. What do you have to trade?
Yeah. Can we have a
What
little piece of
business
that?
can we do with you?
Yeah. What about you? What have you got coming up? Because we're coming down to the end of the time.
Right. Okay. Well, we just.
Oh, wait, I'll just say Stalag Luft 3.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Look it up.
Okay.
Or The Great Escape Poland, and you'll find it.
We'll be there,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So we just finished up our retail awards, which we talked about earlier at the Intercontinental here in Warsaw. We've got a lot of stuff coming up because this is, it's a big year for real estate. I mean, every year seems to be a big year for real estate. But, yeah, April 6th, the big event in Romania, Southeastern Europe. So if you want to come down to that, our SCE Award, a lot of stuff to film in Romania as well.
Gosh, I'd love to go to
Romania. And it's, a lot of Polish tourists go through Romania as well, so it might be interesting.
I've never been to Romania.
Oh, well, come.
It's like there's two. I've never been to Iceland, Romania, or Finland. So I should go.
Yeah,
I think that's it for me in Europe.
So you were in Bulgaria?
Many times.
Oh, okay. So Bulgaria, yes.
Many,
Romania,
5 times.
5 times, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Romania, very interesting. I think you'll like it. And we have a big event there, so you can talk to some people there about business, whatever they're doing. So we do and that's April 6th. And then, like I said, May 25th, this event in Sopot, which you need to come up for. And
no, I'm booked for that.
Yeah, and then May 18th May 18th we do one, and 18th, 19th we do something in Czech, which is also a good big retail thing, doing deal making event for retailers looking to expand in the region. And then May 11th in Serbia, we do a big kind of nomination launch for our CEO awards there. So again, maybe a place for you to come and meet some of the CEOs in Serbia and in the region, see what's going on.
Yeah. I like Serbia.
So that's, some stuff after summer.
And
but
our friend Daryl.
Daryl will be there. Daryl Fidalik is a publisher of Serbia Monthly. He'll for sure be there, and always a good guy to talk to.
I really like him. Yeah.
And
I stayed at his place.
Speaking of Daryl, not that this has anything to do with Daryl, but I bought you a little present from Europa Property.
Right. This says Europa Properties on that side, so
we've got
show that europaproperty.com.
So we do our own with Daryl. We do our own. We'll start.
Oh my goodness!
Starting with our. We'll start with the honey, and this is our
I love
urban.
honey. Thank you.
This is made in Warsaw,
like
our
Christmas.
urban bees, our urban bee honey, and this is our.
You started doing coffee,
and we do with Daryl. We do our gourmet coffee. So when you don't have time to grind all the bees, it is a mug. It is a mug. So this is our coffee mug for the Coffee with Craig show. So we give you coffee, we give you gourmet coffee, we give you urban.
Tell us about your
bees.
show. Tell us about your show.
Well,
there he is.
Coffee with Craig every day. If you're doing commercial real estate, you probably already know the show. If not, then probably you're not that interested. But we do news for Central Eastern Europe for commercial real estate.
Is it on YouTube or only on?
It's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything. Just connect with me and you'll see
Coffee
it.
with Craig.
Coffee with
there
Craig.
It is.
10
There's
minutes.
the mug.
10 minutes every day, and you'll know about all the real estate stuff.
Who's that handsome guy on there?
I don't know, just some guy we
You
put
have
on.
like
just some superstar.
Like a mascot?
We just looked for the best-looking guy we could find and put him on the thing. So
Okay, as long as we're advertising, I'll give you a copy of my book.
Oh, nice.
Rome, freely available. Just get that on. There you go. Rome. You find it on Amazon. It is it's one of the best books I've ever written.
Really? Well, so it'd be the best book I've ever read then, probably. I thought it was a Chick-fil-A commercial at front because they always got the cows like. On
There's a lot about
it's eat more chicken or something.
It's about what does it say on the front there? Capitalist cowboy. What?
Yeah, Confessions of a Cowboy Capitalist.
There you go.
Is that you? Cowboy
No.
Capitalist?
It's not nothing about me in there.
Okay.
It's not a novel about me at all. There will be.
I'm clearly going to have to bring better gifts next time because I see you're always doing better gifts than I'm giving you.
That's not true. That's not true. I'm very pleased with what I got.
So Rome,
like Christmas.
Any pictures in here? Because I'm a picture.
No, there are no pictures.
God, I got.
But in my next book, there might be pictures or drawings.
I like the font size because I can read it.
Yeah. It's very easy to read.
Good. Yeah, perfect. All right.
And also it makes it look bigger than it is. Yeah.
Now I have something to do Saturday night.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy it.
Because I was wondering, I thought it was just Netflix, but now full
it's
blast.
It's based on the life of a real person that I did extensive traveling and interviews with. So there's a lot of research went into the book.
This you've been doing for a lot of years, yeah?
Yeah, the sequel will come out this summer.
Okay.
I wrote the first book and the sequel at the same time. And the sequel is coming out, I say, in the summer. But before then, I have any day now, or any week now, my interview book, Are You Talking to Me? Interviews with Mike Tyson, Vladimir Klitschko, a number of other people.
Heavyweight boxing, good.
And people who are at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And then, so athletes, directors, there's a couple of actors, but it's not really, it's more about not personalities, but people who are very good at the top of their profession. And it's based on published interviews that I did.
Very cool. Yeah.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I met Klitschko a few times.
You must
Very
be
interesting
talking to
guy.
me.
Yeah,
Vladimir's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Vladimir Klitschko. And that ties us back to the subject with Anders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ukraine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm here with Craig Smith. It's been a pleasure having you, Craig. Thank you very much.
Great to see you again, Rick.
My old pal. I appreciate it. And thank you for watching. He calls me Rick because that's my nickname, in case you're confused.
Only his friends can call him Rick.
That's right. Well, you can call me if you want to. You could be friends if you want to. But please, I need friends. Help me.
Help
me. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next week.